Yeah. Uh-huh.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one. It's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. Yes, children. Today is Thursday. Can you believe it's Friday Eve already? Today is Thursday, y'all. And it is May. I started to say March. It's May the 4th in the year 2023. And it's another day's journey. And I'm glad about it. Thank you for joining me here this morning. It is marvelous to have each and every one of you here in the Lion's Den. I just love me some y'all. I really, really do. Now, listen, y'all know how it's Friday Junior, Queen Shauna. It's Friday Junior. You know how we do over here. Now, listen, we like to go over to the VIP section and start the day right with those that came into the Lion's Den to make sure there was plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness. I appreciate you all. I really, really do. I love the convos that you all have over here. I love the camaraderie. I love all of the things that you all do in this VIP section. Y'all some beautiful people. That's one thing I can say about you. Now listen, come on in here because I want to give some honorable mention to those that didn't quite make it into the love seat and didn't quite make it onto Grandpa Holmes' chair, but they came in giving us all the love. Let's start today with Queen Shauna. I appreciate you, lovely one. Come on in here. Queen Shauna came in for the after party, y'all. She's like, looky here. We gonna get it on. I hear some let's get it on. She said, come on in here. We gonna have the after party over here. I am not mad at you, sis. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you coming into the Lion's Den and just bringing all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness. There she is. That's the way Queen Shauna came in, y'all. That's the way Queen Shauna came in. And she said, listen, we're having an after party in here. I ain't even mad at you. I am not even mad at you. Now listen, coming on, and we're looking to see, thank you, Queen Shauna. There's that beautiful, lovely one right there. Then we had coming in the Lion's Den this morning, just because knew they didn't quite make it in time to be in contention for the chairs and the seating, but came in anyway. And that's none other than T. Summers. Come on, T. I appreciate you. T said, listen, I missed all the activity, so let me just go on back to bed. Let me just go back to sleep because I missed all the activity going on in here, and I'm not even mad at you. Then we got, let's see, who else came in but did not get in the chair? I'm looking to make sure I don't mess this up, but let me come on to the one and the only high priestess in the camp. Yes, none other than Dr. Dady Priest was in here this morning in the VIP section, and I'm giving her all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness that she brought into the house. There she is, Dr. Dady Priest. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Nothing but mad love to the high priestess. And thank you for coming in the VIP section to make sure there is plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness. Then I also want to give it up for another beautiful sister that we got in the VIP section this morning. She came in as she always does, bringing all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness with her. That's none other than KK79. Thank you. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she lovely? I appreciate this sister right here because she's in all the platforms and she shares the stream every day. I am so humbled and I'm so honored. And I want to say thank you, KK, because y'all really working on that algorithm for me. And I want you to know I appreciate you for your efforts. Now, let's come to those three that got in the room this morning and made their way to make sure there was plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness. The third person in the room this morning was none other than Truck driver. Truck driver, you did that. Yes, that's my Mufasa. That's my line. Oh, did I not? I hit the button, but I didn't hit it hard enough. There's that fine man right there. Come on, Truck. Congratulations. Go ahead and sit on that love seat, and I got somebody else that's going to come join you right over there. It was close, y'all. It was close. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, the babies. Oh, you know what? I done messed up already. Y'all gonna love this one. Okay, the third person in the lion's den. The actual third person in the lion's den. Woo! Y'all, come on here. Just act like you didn't hear me announce it. Cassandra Isaiah. Come on, sis. Come on. Come on. There she is. Cassandra, I love you. Yes, that sassy Cassie slide and glide. She was the third person in the Rebel. Listen. Y'all, are y'all praying for spiritual? Are y'all praying for spiritual out there today? Listen, yes, she was the third person in the room, and so much mad love to you. Now, these next two were in strong contention because they came in just a second or a smidgen, a little too early, but they came right back. And listen, now, somebody might need to send me a screenshot. I don't know. I might need a screenshot on this one. But at the end of the day, my computer says the second person to make it into the lion's den this morning was none other than Shelly Thunder. Shelly Thunder, go ahead and sit down. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. Now, I might get some blowback on this one, y'all. I don't know, because, honey, they was in there at 11:59, and they both came right back. But the winner, according to Discord, of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Truck Driver. You did that, my brother. Yes, you did that, my brother. Come on in here and take your seat on the throne. You did it. My Lion King, my Mufasa Truck Driver is the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. And I congratulate you today, my brother. And please accept my apologies for announcing you prematurely. Come on. It's just such a blessing. When I tell you all, these babies come in and they make it a beautiful experience in here for us before we come in. I love me some them. Thank you so much, Truck, and I appreciate all of you that came in the Lion's Den. Now, listen, I appreciate my girl, because, listen, she said, KK79, I'm telling you, you just can't get this child. Her spirit is just all that and a bag of chips. She said, always late, but worth the wait. That's the way we come in, KK, and I appreciate you. Now, as we get ready to move forward, you know, I always like to stop and I've got to appreciate those moderators. Get that mod love out. Get that mod love out. Get that mod love out. Because listen, these ladies right here, they are just the absolute best. I promise you. The prophetess Shelly Thunder. I see that mod love Stacy 546. I see that mod love MCP 812. I see you. I want to appreciate the prophetess, because even on yesterday, I see that mod love Yoshi's son. I see that mod love SK8843. She comes in, and as you saw, she gives us the scriptures, baby. She gives us a prayer. She'll pray you through. Yes, she will. But she'll block your tail. I appreciate her, this moderator right here, as well as my other moderator, Michelle Browno. I'm going to go ahead and call her out a little early, because listen, y'all, they are nominated for the awards, for the BIPOC Awards, both of our mods. Yes, that's my angel right there. Michelle Brownell, otherwise known as the Quiet Storm. Yes, she's up for nomination, you all. Go out there and vote for her, as well as you know her as the Thunderclap, y'all. The Thunderclap. Shelly Thunder. I see that, Mod Love. I see that, Mod Love, Queen Shauna. Come on in here. I see that, Mod Love. Now listen, congratulations to both of these beautiful queens, and please go out there and vote. They're going to put that stream, they're going to put that link up there for you. Please go out there and love on these sisters, because I'm telling you, they work in these streets in Twitch, and they do a beautiful job here in the Lion's Den. I see that, Mod Love, Shelly Thunder. I see that, Mod Love, Rebel. I see that, Mod Love, Queen Shauna. Listen, these are two beautiful ladies that are worthy and deserving of recognition in the BIPOC Awards. So listen, please, KK79, I see that, Mod Love. Please go out and support them in your voting. They, again, are worthy. Thank you, Shelly Thunder. Appreciate that link. Go out there to that link. She's pinning it up for you. BIPOCstreamersaward.blogspot.com. Go out there and put our ladies on the map, because they deserve it. Then we've got another nominee. The Rebel Inc. is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways. She is also nominated, y'all. All three of these beautiful ladies have been nominated. Come on, come on, come on. That's what I'm talking about. These lions are out here roaring. They are roaring. This pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. That's the way we do it in the Lion's Den. I love every last one of these ladies, and that's boss energy in pure energy form. I appreciate all three of them. Now listen, you know how we like to do it at this point. I like to come around and say good morning to everybody, and we're going to do it in a quick fashion on this morning, but I got to give my love. I got to give my love to you, because I just love you, Sheila Miles. Actually, Sheila Stillman, good morning to you. Come on in here. Truck Driver 57, my Mufasa, good morning to you. SK 8843, I see you, dear. KK 79, I see you, and mad love to you. KK Michelle is in Facebook. Come on in here, love. I appreciate you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and Queen Shauna, the lovely one, is in here. So much mad love to you, my sister. Then I've got Michelle Brownell. Yes, that is my Quiet Storm and my angel, y'all. She's my angel, and don't you ever forget it. There's none like her in all the earth. I love it. I love it. I love it. She's soothing to the soul, saints. She's soothing to the soul. Come on in here. I see you, sis. And then, of course, you know, we cannot forget the Thunderclap, y'all. She's in here, too. Shelly Thunder, I see you, sis, and so much mad love to you. I see Stacy 546 in the room come through. That's my sister. That's my friend for life. You better ask somebody. I love me some you. The young prince is here. Yoshi Sun 77, mad love to you, and you're always welcome in the Lion's Den. Coming on, and Yoshi Sun is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Yoshi Sun, quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways, because he's going to bless your whole entire life. I love me some you. Coming on down, and who else do I see? I'm looking, I'm booking, and I see Cassandra Woke in 2022. Come on in here. That's my poet laureate. Come on, come on, come on. Don't you want to go? Coming on down, and I'm looking, and I'm booking, and I'm making a list, and I'm checking it twice, and I already know who's naughty and who's nice. Now, whose name is going to come up right there is going to be MCP 812. I see you, and good morning to you, my beautiful sis. Nothing but mad love to you. That's my sister, cousin, pastor, friend. Come on in the room and listen. Praise report. All was well on that car stop, and honey, y'all better start singing Jesus Can't Work It Out if you let him, honey, because he did it on yesterday. We were praying for that grandson and her daughter on that car stop, but the God I serve is right now able. Didn't we say surely he's able? That's the way we started yesterday. I appreciate everybody that's in here. Now let me come on to the basement, and T Summers is in the room. Happy Thursday to you. T Summers is a streamer, and if you're not following T Summers, quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways, because listen, she's going to bless your whole life, and she's our partner for the Boss Energy Christmas Cruise. If you've not made your payment, please call my sister and make your way. Get your bills paid, because we're going on a trip come December. I love you, sis, and mad love to you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm seeing who else. You always coming in the basement. It's okay. You're in here. It doesn't matter if you come in the door from the front. Doesn't matter if you come in the door from the back, from the basement. And some of y'all might have climbed in the window, but you're here. And good morning to you. Now, you know where we go from here. Get your coffee out. Get your coffee cup out. Get your coffee cup out. Because listen, what had happened was, whilst we slumbered. Let me come over to Facebook. I done got carried away, and I said I was going to do better about Facebook. Sheila Stillman, I see you over there in Facebook. Good morning to you, sis. Come on in here. Now let me see. Lavinia Christine, good morning to you over here in Facebook. I appreciate you. KK Michelle, I appreciate. I'm telling y'all holding down these streams. That's all I can say. Y'all holding down these platforms. And I want to say thank you, because you just keep bumping us right on up the algorithm. And I appreciate you for that. Coming around, I want to make sure I'm checking all the locations and make sure I don't want to miss anybody that's actually chatting. And as I said, I'll say this once more and again, for those of you that are chatting in those other platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, the multiple Facebook platforms, I want you to know that I do see you talking when I go out and look, and remember to look. That's the biggest thing, is that I forget to look over there. But I cannot respond to you in the chat real time, because that brings your channel into the channel that I'm streaming, and you'll get double whammy. So just know I can't respond to you exactly, but I will respond to you verbally, but not in typing. DJ Rockin' Ron is in the room. Come through here, DJ Rockin' Ron. DJ Rockin' Ron is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following DJ Rockin' Ron, and I promise you he will bless you. He is a streamer, and if you're not following him, quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways, because I want you to know he's going to bless your whole entire life. Prince Jacob, Mr. Rebuttal, the principal take 2 is in the room in YouTube. You better come through. So glad to have you here. And you said I'm present, STL. And I'm so glad that you are. You're just a blessing. Thank you for coming through. Z Lady C, that's my girl. And she's here every morning, but she's always lurking and working. And I just want you to know I appreciate your lurking, working. Go ahead and twerk while you're at it, so that the people know you're in the lion's den. Mad love to every last one of you. Now listen, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, get your coffee cups out. Whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, it was reported to me, Cheerins. It was reported to me there were some things that happened whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit. Now, it's reported that the Ukraine got some of its worst attack from the Kremlin ever on yesterday. So that's reporting. I see your coffee cup, Queen Shauna. I see your coffee cup, Z Lady C. I see you out there. I see those coffee cups. Come through. Now, like I said, I'm not going to. They had drone attacks on Ukraine, and so actually, am I saying that backwards? It looks like the attack was on the Kremlin. Okay, so at the end of the day, they fighting, cheering. That's what I'll tell you. That's what happened, T Summers. I see your coffee cup. They fighting over there. They fighting and killing up people. That's all I can say about that. I'm not going to take a lot of time on that particular story, but just know that's one of the headlines out there. Now, listen, Cheerins, listen. This was going on whilst we slumber. As a matter of fact, this happened before we were slumbering, sleeping, and slobbering. I was talking to one of my dearest friends from the ATL as this was an active event going on. And we ended our conversation so she could follow and see what was going on. And at the end of the day, you know, I just have to say, I'm sorry for those that are reaping the havoc that, yes, the ATL had an active shooter on yesterday that was shooting up the peoples. So while I was talking to my friends from the ATL, they were trying to be clear and make sure they were not in an area where this brother was headed, because he shot up folks, killed somebody inside the medical facility. His mother was reportedly there with him. She was not injured, but he shot and critically wounded 3 others besides the person that he killed. Then he took them on a manhunt around the ATL. So the ATL residents were on high alert on last evening until they finally caught this man. It says it was an 8-hour manhunt that threw this major American city into chaos and ended in a condo complex in suburban areas. And he is an ex-Coast Guard veteran. He is an ex-Coast Guard. It was just sad, Michelle. It was just really sad, Queen Shauna. And you just wonder, you know, what is going on and what is happening with the people. This young man was only 24 years old. 24, should I say, years young. And apparently something happened. It was a CDC employee that he actually killed. And the other 3, it did not state if they were actually employees there or if they were just random people that happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So again, I do want to say for this 24-year-old young man in this young life that will be forever changed, I think he was just released from the Coast Guard in the beginning of this year. I want to say January, February, somewhere in there. He has not been out of military assignment that long. This is a concern, and I believe that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I think if anything, this manifests for us. And I don't know that there's an association between whatever mental health issue he has and the military job that he just left. Or did they relieve him and release him from the military because they realized he had a problem? You know, I don't know. That's the $64,000 question that came across my mind. Did they release him in the beginning of the year because they know he had a mental health problem and they did not want him to be their problem, and so they just released him out there in the streets? Now, I don't know that they did that, but I'm just asking the question. Inquiring minds want to know, because sometimes they will. Now, come on now. I'm just keeping it real. Y'all know we're in the lion's den. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it Tiz. Sometimes when they know that they have a problem or have developed a problem, they will kick them early and release them out there into the streets so they're no longer their problem. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, whatever the case may be, and again, that's just I'm asking in my mind, when they released him from duty, did they know the young man had a problem? That's a question. That's a question that I have. So, but at the end of the day, this being, I believe May is Mental Health Month. I want to highlight whatever broke down with this brother. I will say I was thankful when they said the mother was unharmed, and some people may feel differently about that. But, you know, they've gone all the way over the edge when they just start killing up everybody and have no ability to restrain themselves. They just, snap. But I was glad to hear that the mother was uninjured, and hope that she is able to deal with this situation, because again, now the family is dealing with the fallout that we have with this young man's situation. He was loose. And as I said, as I was talking to a friend from the ATL, we discontinued our conversation on the phone so that she could stay aware of what was actively going on until they were able to apprehend this young man. And he was apparently everywhere. So I'm telling you, my heart goes out. Dion Patterson, 24, at the 24 years of age. I am just really, really looking and saying, let the prayers go up for all of those that are impacted, because you're talking about several lives now that will never be the same. Will never be the same. Mental health is no joke, Queen Shauna. Mental health is no joke. And I hope the stigma around getting therapy and getting help in the Black community especially is going down, because I can tell you, we as a people have been hard to acknowledge I have a problem and I need to go and seek psychiatric or emotional mental help. That seems to be a hard pill for Black folk to swallow. It is sad, KK Michelle. It's very sad. I see you, Stacy 546. Lord have mercy is right. Queen Shawnee, you said you feel a lot of people are walking around with insane minds, and it is sad, and they'll just snap. And again, without the necessary addressing of the issues, some treatment, some counseling and therapy, I will say that many times I feel we send these people into the military. We send little boys and little girls, and I don't care. They might be legal age, but to me, they're still little boys and little girls. I was blessed to go see a particular military ceremony that was going on, and I just looked at those. I looked at those babies, and I was like, my God, these are just little kids. These are little. I know they're adults. I know they're legal age. I know they're at the age of consent and can make their own decisions and all that good stuff. But I'm telling you, as I sat there and watched the ceremony, and some of the things that they were being told and some of the things they were, addressing that they would potentially have to deal with, not only as those that were active, men and women, but also their spouses. I just looked at that and I said, those are little kids. My heart just goes out to them. And at the same time, I understand they're signing up to serve their country. But I still say they're little kids. I look at this young man having been kicked from the Coast Guard just earlier this year. He's only 24 years old. He's still a kid to me. That's still a kid. When you tell me a 24-year-old has gone in and done service for the country and been released from service of the country, and they're only 24 years old a few months later out here shooting up people, in my heart, that's still, I don't know. I feel some kind of way about that. So too true. Some won't acknowledge, address, or treat their issues. Had a very tough night last night because of this. Come on, Yoshi son. And we're praying for you. And to all of those that are in the stream right now, I understand that even in the lion's den, we come in with issues. We come in carrying baggage. We come in carrying grievances and wounds. We come in carrying all kinds of things. So I recognize that even here, there can be that space and place. And I'm gonna say even for myself, I'm not excluding myself from that, because mental health and I want to say, I want to deal with mental health before it becomes mental illness. You understand what I'm saying? I want us to deal with mental health before it becomes mental illness. Let me say that one more time. I want us to deal with our mental health before it becomes mental illness, for those that can. And to continue, even if you're in a place of mental illness, to keep working towards mental health. Do you understand the words that are coming? Even if you're in a place currently of mental illness, keep working toward your place of mental health. And then I want us to come to so young, KK Michelle, so young. You have a relative who was enlisted after spending quite a bit of time in a mental health facility without his issues being completely addressed. Come on with that, T. And I think we need to address that. I unfortunately have a dear friend and family who military came out, and ultimately was trying to work through the issues of having been an enlisted individual and the things that they dealt with in the military, the things that they saw while in the military, traumatized, and just could not get back on their feet. And ultimately the end thereof was suicide. And everybody was just like so shocked because, I mean, otherwise this was a totally balanced, even kill, powerful young lion. But at the end of the day, there was a lot, so much and even more than what could be handled. I think we have to take all these things into consideration. And even as I'm saying, let us pray. My dearest friend, Fairly All Day is in the room. Good morning to you, my dearest friend. Mad love to you. And you be careful out there driving. So this is the thing that kind of causes me to pause and say, are these young minds really ready to go in and deal with some of the things that they have to see? Or even better yet, I think this becomes a torment. Depending on where these young individuals are assigned, some of them have to deal with not only what happened to them, but things that they did in the line of duty. And some of that they can't talk about, some of it they won't talk about. But you come back changed when you've enacted violence against somebody. You come back changed when you see massive death. You come back changed when the people that were standing beside you this morning are dead tonight. You come back changed. So, I just feel like we need to really pay attention to that. And again, as we talk about military, a lot of times our veterans are out here on the streets now homeless. Our veterans are out here needing that mental health attention and unable to get it. There's so many different things that are going on. And after they come back changed, their quality of life is never the same again. And I don't care what anybody says. Money cannot replace mental health. Money cannot replace limbs that are missing. Money cannot replace so many things that are sacrificed. And so I feel the way I feel. And I hear y'all, some of y'all have a real strong sense of feeling about that. But to me, on that point, even as I have pray up there, please pray a covering over our military, our armed forces personnel. They endure a lot. Please pray for our veterans that have served and have come out, like this young man in ATL. He did his time. He did. I don't know if they kicked him early, but he did his time and was released earlier this year from the Coast Guard. And then here we are reading about him this morning, having gone on a spree on yesterday. We need to pray and cover these kids. It's too much trauma and too little treatment in military service. Come on here, SK. That's all I'm saying. Crazy Berrytown. There's my beautiful friend. And listen, Crazy Berrytown is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways, because she's going to bless your whole life. She'll give you a sip and a chit chat. She'll Zumba you to Zion. And she's also our fearless leader in Good Grief. I appreciate you for being here this morning, Crazy Berrytown, and nothing but mad love to you. And I hope that your area of town, I don't know where you are in ATL, but we were just talking and wrapping up the conversation about this 24-year-old young man that was just recently released from active duty in the Coast Guard, leading an 8-hour manhunt in ATL, trying to find him after having killed one, injured others. And it's just a sad plight. BTD Mom, good morning to you. She is the Zumba queen. Please believe it. BTD Mom is my biggest big sister, and we celebrated her anniversary on yesterday of the beginning of her journey of the Lord sparing her life. I'm glad to see you this morning. Come on, we all gonna need some Zumba. We all gonna need some Zumba for all these, all these margaritas and mint juleps that you've been having over the weekend. Come on, T. Lord Jesus. So listen, you read at age 25, actually. Before 30 is just too early, in my opinion. Oh, okay. I see you all talking about the age. Listen, I'm telling you, I had a cousin who, we were reared and raised in a little small town called White Cloud, Kansas. And I had a cousin who was drafted during the draft. And he said they took this little teenage kid. It was just old enough to be drafted. They took this little teenage kid out of a little podunk town in White Cloud, Kansas, and dropped in the middle of nowhere where he didn't even know where he was. They gave him, and please hear me when I say this, the military was issuing, his CO every morning came around with a good ration of drugs for them to take. And that was their means and answer to helping them deal with the drama that they were seeing. He said little kids would come up to you and you had to, protect yourself because the little kids were coming strapped up with hand grenades and, bombs and everything else. He said there's just no way to explain the hell that they endured over there. And you're talking about little kids. I'm still saying, I don't care if you are 18. You're talking about little kids, taking them out of the middle of nowhere and dropping them in a land they don't even know where they are. They don't understand the language or anything else. And you're out here and you're identifying. You cannot just assume that when that little child comes into camp that everything's okay, because many times they're rigged. You cannot assume that female, when she comes in asking for help, is okay, because many times she was carrying out the plan of the enemy. I mean, that's some dastardly stuff to take a little kid and put them in the middle of that. Totally unaware, totally untrained, I'm just saying, I think we need to think and rethink some of these elements. And then when we release these babies back on the street, until he closed his eyes, he struggled. And he was not the only one and won't be the last. So, these areas I wish that we would think about and think through just a little bit more. I really, really do. Now, I put something in here, and then I know some of you all, I'm going to do news from viewers because you all had some good stuff. Before I went to all of these places, because I can tell you, I got some things that may shatter and rattle you a little bit, but I really want to address them and I want to talk about them because this is real stuff. But before I do that, I sometimes when I got a feeling that we might get a little heavy, I like to start off with something a little light. This is Miss Nova Girl. And I started following her, and some of you I see are following her as well and have already liked this. But this little baby right here, this little 4-year-old baby, I just appreciated her. And I said, this is the way I want to start this morning. For real, for real. Let's backtrack and let's talk about little Nova Girl. Let's just watch her for a second and let her bless you real good. Here we go.
Nova. Let's go, Nova.
About. I loved it. Let's watch her again. 4 years old, y'all. 4 years old. Did y'all see that dismount? Did y'all see that dismount? Yes, Noah. Yes, Noah. Now, y'all saw she stayed on that line just like she was on a balance beam. 4 years old. That's the way the lions do it in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Stacy 546, she's way more coordinated than me because I never, listen, tumbling was never my thing. The best I could ever do was I can stand on my head and I might be able to still do a handstand. I don't know. I done picked up so much weight. I don't know if my arms can still sustain and support my rest of my body, but I know I can still do a headstand. I can do that, but the rest of that coordination, no ma'am. Dr. Dady Priest, the high priestess is in the room, and good morning to you, sis. If you don't know, I want you to understand engagement matters. And if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways because she's going to bless your whole life. I promise you she will. Yes, I want to give it up one more time for Nova because that's our hope. That's our future and our present. Nova! Y'all, I'm laughing because I'm reading what T. Summers said. She said, I just got a call from Support Our Police PAC asking for money. I asked, who am I supporting? A candidate or a group? He repeated his little spiel again, so she hung up. Good for you, T. That's going to segue me into the conversation that I really want to have today, y'all. Now, listen, I know, Rebel. I know. Just stop it. Just stop it. I want to show some clips today because in actuality, and I'm going to go ahead and come live. I'm going to come out while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. I happened to stumble on this man, and I'm telling you, wait, let me see. Before I do that, listen. Before I do that, I think T had a clip in that she shared. Yes, here we go. We do have a clip in that she shared, and I do want to get this in. So let's take an opportunity to observe. There we go. And I think you'll be blessed by this. Let me get this all. There we go. Here we go. And T. Summers, thank you.
This is why I single out Black Americans. Here are a few stories that have been left out of the history books. Anthony Crawford. Mr. Crawford owned a 427-acre cotton farm in South Carolina and supported himself by selling the cotton, melons, syrup, and more produced by his land. Mr. Crawford's wife and 13 children all lived on his land with their spouses. He also built a school for black people. Mr. Crawford was lynched for cursing at white supremacists on his land, and his family was ordered to leave their 427-acre farm. Ocoee, Florida. In Ocoee, there was a time when black freedmen owned a total of 330 acres plus 48 city lots. Black ownership and a refusal to follow white rules led to a violent Election Day attack on the black community in 1920. The land lost by black families, not including buildings, has been accessed by millions. Vero Beach, Florida. The Epsy family lost their generational wealth in 1942 when the U.S. government seized their land through eminent domain to build an airfield. The Epsys lost 147 acres of land, including a 30-acre fruit grove, 2 houses, and 40 lots. The land would be acquired by the Navy, the city of Vero Beach, and the LA Dodgers team, all while ignoring the family's plea to buy back their taken land. The last official owners of the land sold the property for $10 million in the 2000s. Jasper County, Mississippi. When black people prospered with their land, white supremacists deliberately torched the courthouse containing black property records and deeds. The Masonite Corporation was eventually granted a title to 9,500 acres of land, which has yielded millions of dollars in wood, timber, gas, and at least 850,000 barrels of oil have been pumped from the land. Remember stories like these the next time a white supremacist or a person who came here after slavery to capitalize off of the American dream tells us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, or that there's equal opportunity for everyone. There was never any such thing for us, but black Americans always found a way. Just because stories like these aren't in history books doesn't mean these things didn't exist or happened. Black American freedmen stand up. This is why.
Now, I want to appreciate you, T, for sharing that, because listen, that's good stuff right there. And that's why they don't want you to teach CRT in the schools. I can't hear you. I said that's why they don't want you to teach CRT in the schools. So at the end of the day, thank you, T. I see you. Well, appreciate you for working and lurking. Honey 41, good morning to you, sis, and mad love to you. Now, I will say, I wanted to start there as we get ready to digress and get into some of the information that I really want to deal with on today. And even yesterday, I want you to tell these stories to the people that you know. This is in News from Viewers, and I do appreciate the fact that T put that in there. And many other stories, many. I got you listening and working. Thank you for that, honey. I appreciate you. Many other stories very similar to that, even up into the story that I told you on yesterday. And let me tell you, can I come here? Y'all pray for SK 8843, otherwise known as Sheila Stillman. Because listen, the fact of the release of that story on yesterday, I thought it was going to take my sister out. I really did. Because listen, her blood pressure probably went up 500 degrees over that dastardly situation that I personally endured, where they sold me they forced me to sell my land at a price that was nowhere near where the land was valued. And then, in the six figures value for 25 grand, and now are building a $25 million complex on my land that they took. Jay Trey, come on in here. Jay Trey 707 is in the room, y'all. She's a streamer. I appreciate you. Nothing but mad love coming to you. Listen, if you're not following J Trey 707, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because I'm telling you, she's going to bless your whole life. And that's my interpreter of tongues right there. I love me some you, and good morning. Now, right on up to the point of yesterday, and when I tell you, and I love my sisters, I absolutely do. These are my blood sisters, BTD Mom and SK 8843, otherwise known as Sheila Stillman Miles, Sheila Miles Stillman, but she's retained her maiden name, Sheila Stillman. I tell you, I felt her pain. I felt her pain. And they wonder why we got high blood pressure, Cassandra Woke. I felt her pain. I felt her dismay. Because, it's hard to watch your loved ones be mistreated by the system. And then they pop up, a few days later. I looked. She sent me a copy where I could see what the proposed building and what they're getting ready to build there. And all the time, I'm sitting there looking and knowing, while the city is doing all these accolades on both sides of the state line and everybody's so excited and da-da-da-da-da-da. But the way you got this land, the way you obtained this land to put your $25 million facility on it, the way that you obtained this land, KB Browns, that's my brother. Come on in here. There's so much love to you. Come through. And bless my sister's heart. She was ready to blow a gasket yesterday. But it's just, can I just say it? It's dastardly. It's really dastardly when we know that these stories continue to happen. Even when I looked at, did you all catch that they, through eminent domain, and they have used eminent domain and weaponized that against black folks to take our land over and over and over and over again, which was actually the threat. Yes, eminent domain, which was actually the threat that they used against me, because I knew full well, and that was without an official appraisal. The banker came and said, this land is well over X amount of dollars, above and beyond good six figures. But you give me an offer of $25,000 and tell me if you don't take the 25, we are positioned and perched and ready to declare eminent domain and just take it and you'll get nothing. So these are the types of things that they have done. And even if you notice when it said the last of the land that one family owned was purchased in, 2002, early 2000s for $10 million, you still know that land was worth way more than any $10 million. You know that land was worth way more than any $10 million. And then you start talking about how much wood, how much gas, how much all these rich resources that they have obtained from this land that really should have gone to that family if it hadn't been for the fact that you went through the dastardly, yes, I said dastardly, you went through the dastardly process of eminent domain and taking these people's land. So good morning, Barbara Hardy. There's my these are they friend. Come on in here. And so much mad love to you. Yes, Central Park in New York City. We can talk about all the drowned towns that black people owned, and they came in and flooded them and turned them into parks and lakes and all this other kind of stuff. And the towns are still underwater. That's why they call them drowned towns. They didn't even take the time to demolish and destroy the buildings underneath. They just came in and flooded it out and took over the whole town and then said, oh, we want a nice state park right here. Flood the black people. Oh, we want a nice state park right here. Flood the black people. Oh, we want a nice park, Central Park in the displace the black people. And they did it twice in New York. Please be clear on that. It wasn't just one time. They did it twice in New York. This has been the plight of black people repeatedly in this country. So, and listen, I'm going to go ahead and come here because at the end of the day, let me just make it plain. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. So at the end of it all, please understand, just as I said, this was announced on yesterday. I guess the day before yesterday, I did get, my sister sent me the plans, and I just sat there and looked at this $25 million facility and looked at my land. I literally sat there and looked at my land that they took by hook and crook. This is the situation that we continue to fight through. And I feel like at some point in time, California had that black beach. I remember that. And it was taken away, K2 Hoop. But listen, it ended up, they did come back on that one. And I got to get California out of any of the states seems to be. And I'm not hey, don't get me wrong, because listen, there's a whole lot more that could be done. But they seem to be one of the few states that's actually trying to correct some of their wrongdoing. And so even in that beach situation, they did come back to the family and do something. So I'm gonna give it up for California for that. I got you, and I got you, J Trade. They sold it back for millions. But listen, eminent domain is government sanctioned mafia strong arming, KB Browns. And so at the end of the day, and I don't know if you were in here yesterday, but I was sharing that my sister that's still in Kansas City reached out to me first thing yesterday morning. and apprised me of the fact that a land of 4 prime plots on the corner of the boulevard that were commandeered away from me by threat of eminent domain is now about to become a $25 million facility for one of the major tourist attractions in the black section of Kansas City, Missouri. And you know, you definitely feel that thing. You understand what I'm saying? You feel that thing. And I was very serious in saying, you know, I'm soliciting prayers for my sister, because listen, she's right there in the city and it's just killing her. And when you know the backstories of what they've done and how they've obtained this, it's hard to stomach. It's really hard to sit there and watch when you got all the city fathers and the, you know, both sides of the state line coming out saying hooray, 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 when you know what they did and how they did it. It's really, really hard to applaud that. But it's nothing new. I feel like we're going to get to a point in a situation where hopefully we're going to turn all this around. But like I tell people, and as I said to my family, and I really believe it, at the end of the day, my blessings, listen, my blessing is still on the way. So I'm not happy, but I'm not going to trip out over it. We're just going to keep on crying loud and sparing not, and lifting up our voice like a trumpet and saying, this is what y'all keep doing to me. This is what you keep doing to me as a people of color. And at some point, there will be a day of reckoning where you're going to have to give us our stuff back. If they were trying to do right by you, they'd give you half of the 20. Come on. You know what I'm saying, KB Browns? Because at the end of the day, as I said, when the banker came, and it did have a structure on it, when the banker came, but the issue was those prime 4 lots on a corner lot on a boulevard, on a major boulevard. 4 prime lots, corner lots, on a boulevard. That by itself, enough said. You understand what I'm saying? I owned 4 prime lots on the corner lot of the major boulevard. So, you know, they have no intention of doing right. They had no intention of doing right. And this is what we have to contend with. So at the end of the day, I just want to, and this is why some of this is really a passion of mine, because I want us to understand the day is going to come and the time has to manifest where this starts turning itself around. Now, I want to say, I'm going to do this before, I got to get this one in. I wasn't going to come here, but I want to get this one in. Listen, this baby right here, I'm not going to not do my girl, because she said what she said. Listen, I just want y'all to know she said what she said, and she wrote the vision and made it plain for this preacher. And I want to play this one because this is good. This is good. This is good. Talk, Sister Soldier, talk. Come on and play for me.
Sir, I do always try to be kind to the people who are on this show, but we're not friends. You're somebody that I am, you know, I'm glad that you're willing to come on AM Joy, and I do try to be fair to you, and I'm glad that you can see that. But as to the idea that I need to move to Haiti to be concerned about the people there, sir, you are a pastor. And in the Bible, you love to quote the Bible, so let me quote you 1 John 3:17. It says, "But whoever has the world's goods and sees his brother in need and closes his heart against him, how does the love of God abide in him?" It says, "Let us not love with word or with tongue, but in deed and in truth." And that is what I am doing when I'm concerned about the people of the world. I, too, am the child of immigrants. And African Americans and people who consider ourselves African Americans, some of us have parents who are immigrants from Haiti, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from around the world. And by the way, since you addressed Haiti specifically, let me tell you what Haiti has done for us. Haitians fought in the Revolutionary War. There were Haitians among those who helped us to defeat Britain and free this country and make it independent. Haitians overthrew the great Napoleonic army to make possible the Louisiana Purchase, which would not have happened but for that revolution and France's defeat. Haitians built and created the culture of New Orleans. Now, you can't hate New Orleans, right? But that culture could not have existed without the ex-migration of people from Haiti to New Orleans to escape because Haiti had been overthrown. The colony had been overthrown. Haitians live in this country and contribute as doctors, as lawyers, as nurses, as scientists, as statesmen. They are a part of the fabric of this country, and sir, African Americans include Haitian Americans. So, Pastor Burns, I hope that you will open your heart to the people of this world, to the people of this country, and do your duty as a Christian to love your neighbor as yourself. But thanks for sharing your views. Up next, Donald Trump in his own words. Stay with us.
Can we play that? Listen.
Sir, I do always try to be kind to the people who are on the show, but we're not friends. You're somebody that I am, I'm glad that you're willing to come on AM Joy, and I do try to be fair to you, and I'm glad that you can see that. But as to the idea that I need to move to Haiti to be concerned about the people there, sir, you are a pastor. And in the Bible, you love to quote the Bible, so let me quote you 1 John 3:17. It says, "But whoever has the world's goods and sees his brother in need and closes his heart against him, how does the love of God abide in him?" It says, "Let us not love with word or with tongue, but in deed and in truth." And that is what I am doing when I'm concerned about the people of the world. I, too, am the child of immigrants. And African Americans and people who consider ourselves African Americans, some of us have parents who are immigrants from Haiti, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from around the world. And by the way, since you addressed Haiti specifically, let me tell you what Haiti has done for us. Haitians fought in the Revolutionary War. There were Haitians among those who helped us to defeat Britain and free this country and make it independent. Haitians overthrew the great Napoleonic army to make possible the Louisiana Purchase, which would not have happened but for that revolution and France's defeat. Haitians built and created the culture of New Orleans. Now, you can't hate New Orleans, right? But that culture could not have existed without the ex-migration of people from Haiti to New Orleans to escape because Haiti had been overthrown. The colony had been overthrown. Haitians live in this country and contribute as doctors, as lawyers, as nurses, as scientists, as statesmen. They are a part of the fabric of this country, and, sir, African Americans include Haitian Americans. So, Pastor Burns, I hope that you will open your heart to the people of this world, to the people of this country, and do your duty as a Christian to love your neighbor as yourself. But thanks for sharing your views. Up next.
Ooh, y'all, Joy gave me joy. That in my shondo. Baby, when she turned the corner and said, "And by the way," joy. Some joy juice right there. That was some joy juice. That was some joy juice. The end. Rebel. Yes, Haiti, the first free black republic in the Western Hemisphere. Period. Ooh, baby, that read right there. That read right there. Woo! Joy blessed my whole shondo. She did. She blessed my whole entire shondo with that because Mother came bearing gifts. Mother came locked and low. Listen, Mother said, listen, why you out here disliking Haitians? And listen, they are really, the Haitian people, God bless them because folks are mad that they overthrew their oppressors and the racists can't take it. But she said, and by the way, baby, she read that brother for filth. The pastor is still picking up his teeth. J-Trey, Pastor pastor is still collecting his teeth from where his jaw hit the floor because she said, I'm locked and loaded. I love it. Baby, his ship went down. And sank his whole racist ship and then told him, listen, do your Christian duty. Why you out here talking crazy with your preacher self? Do your Christian duty. Did you read the Bible when it said, baby, she read him for filth? I loved it. Because she said, you, sir, I don't care if you are a preacher. Ain't nothing but the devil.
I can't hear you.
Ain't nothing but the devil. Do your Christian duty and do what your Bible said. Ooh, baby, when I tell you, she blessed my whole shondo with that read. She blessed my whole shondo. Listen, I just want y'all to know that was a blessing from the Lord. That read right there was a whole blessing from the Lord. Listen, she became the fly that was in Pence's hair. She wouldn't let that joker go. She said, no, sir, this brown stuff that you out here shoveling. Just like, honey, the flies are gathering. Do your Christian duty, sir. Ooh, joy gave me joy. Do you understand? Listen, my life journey, joy gave me joy. I just want y'all to know that, yes, the Pence's fly is back because the brown stuff is still piling up. And it just attracts flies like Pence's hair. It attracts flies just like Pence's hair. I cannot. You feel like it needs a running back. Listen, I'm going to give you joy. I'm going to give you some more joy because, listen, joy, she blessed my whole shondo. I just didn't run it 3 times. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm going to give it to you because, listen, y'all need to get some joy juice energy up in here. Come on, Joy, and talk to the peoples, girl. Talk to the peoples, Joy.
Sir, I do always try to be kind to the people who are on this show, but we're not friends. You're somebody that I am, I'm glad that.
But we're not friends. But we're not friends. We're not friends, in case you didn't know it. Come on, Joy, you better preach this morning.
That you're willing to come on AM Joy, and I do try to be fair to you, and I'm glad that you can see that. But as to the idea that I need to move to Haiti to be concerned about the people there, sir, you are a pastor. And in the Bible, you love to quote the Bible, so let me quote you 1 John 3.
Wait a minute, she said you love to quote the Bible. Tell him, Joy, tell him.
17. It says, but whoever has the world's goods and sees his brother in need and closes his heart against him, how does the love of God abide in him? It says, let us not love with word or with tongue, but in deed and in truth. And that is what I am doing when I'm concerned about the people of the world. I, too, am the child of immigrants. And African Americans and people who consider ourselves African Americans, some of us have parents who are immigrants from Haiti, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from around the world. And by the way, since you addressed Haiti specifically, let me tell you what Haiti has done for us.
Come on!
Haitians fought in the Revolutionary War. There were Haitians among those who helped us to defeat Britain and free this country and make it independent. Haitians overthrew the great Napoleonic army to make possible the Louisiana Purchase, which would not have happened but for that revolution and France's defeat. Haitians built and created the culture of New Orleans. Now, you can't hate New Orleans, right? But that culture could not have existed without the ex-migration of people from Haiti to New Orleans to escape because Haiti had been overthrown. The colony had been overthrown. Haitians live in this country and contribute as doctors, as lawyers, as nurses, as scientists, as statesmen. They are a part of the fabric of this country, and sir, African Americans include Haitian Americans. So Pastor Burns, I hope that you will open your heart to the people of this world, to the people of this country, and do your duty as a Christian to love your neighbor as yourself. But thanks for sharing your views. Up next.
Woo! Y'all, come on now, come on. Now, did not our hearts burn within? Did not our hearts burn within? Pastor Burns, did not our hearts burn within as she spoke to you, by the way? And this is the way Pastor Burns left the meeting. This is the way Pastor Burns left. This is the way Pastor Burns, he said, let me out of here. Woo, I just can't take it no more. My strength has walked out the door. Pastor Burns left that prayer meeting. Okay, y'all. Okay. Listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. I know that man left there like a hot rod. MCPA 12. Burn rubber, Pastor Burns. Can I do it just one more time? Because this is blessing my soul. Get out the way. She done tore me down and broke me to pieces. So, honey, she took no prisoners. Ooh, she left him nothing. Joy left him nothing. And this is my thing. Yes, he didn't do his research, K2 Hoop. Don't come in here talking ignorant and you don't know what you're talking about. That's all I got to say. Don't come, and especially to an educated black woman, don't come in here ignorant and think you gonna, baby, she read him for filth, and I was there for all of that. I was there for all of that. And I'm so glad Pastor Burns got told today, because he needed to be told. And that's all I can say about that. Now, as we're in this trend, I want to come here because I found this brother right here. And he has really, really blessed my Shondo as well. And I want to share, before I go there, let me do another one because I want to segue to that. This guy's name is Thom Hartmann. I don't know if any of you all have watched him or not. It reminded me, there was a show in the 70s that was Mary Hartman. That's what came to my mind when I first looked at it, or when I first saw the name. That's what came to my mind was Mary Hartman. But this brother right here, I just want us to listen, and I'm going to use this to kind of have a little bit of a convo today as we wrap this up. But I want to talk about, yesterday we talked about debt. We talked about our own personal debt, how to leverage our money, and some things. Now, that being said, I want to bring out some points here that this brother talks about that I think are just absolutely gems and jewels. He starts off talking about the Second Amendment, and then I want to move from that into Social Security. I don't know if you all realize that Social Security has a trust. and the money in that trust is what he's going to start talking about. I want to segue from that. And why is this important? Because I actually want to address the debt ceiling, and that's still a huge issue. That's why I didn't spend a lot of time this morning talking about the war, because I feel like whenever they want to distract us from relevant things that are going on, and right now what's really huge and what's really relevant right now is our financial situation here and our debt that the government has. So I want to kind of take some time and delve into this. I found him because I saw the Second Amendment, and I went out and I followed him. And from that, it brought me to the other videos that I'm going to show you. But I want you to hear this conversation. It's in two parts, him and this caller. And we continue to hear these talking points by white racist people. And just like Pastor Burns, they come with those same talking points, but we need valid and factual information. This brother right here works to talk to white people. That's another reason why I wanted to include this. This brother is predominantly working to educate white people and to help to eradicate the ignorance that they've been taught down through the years. So I wanted to share, again, this gentleman's name is Thom, Thom Hartman. I have found an ally and a friend in his videos. And so I just wanted to share this with you.
Utah, Kansas. It says you disagree with me, Dustin, so you go to the front of the line. What's on your mind?
Hi, you were talking about gun control earlier, correct?
I was.
All right, well, before you went to break, you mentioned that you have a book about Big Brother and somewhat like 1984 and how CIA, NSA are all spying on us, right?
Actually, it's... why are you asking these questions, Dustin? Tell me what you called about.
All right, the main point of the Second Amendment is for self-defense from a POS's rioting or breaking into your house, and for hunting, for recreational, and the most important thing is to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government.
That's a lie, Dustin. That's a lie. Yeah. That's an absolute, that is the worst lie that the NRA has been promulgating since 1974. Give me one quote from any of the founders that said that.
Thomas Jefferson, a well-regular militia. Don't have it on top of my head. I do.
The Jefferson quote you're thinking of is, from time to time, the tree of liberty has to be watered.
Isn't it interesting that they never have their information together? I can't think of it right off the top of my head because you don't know it and there's nothing out there, or you've twisted it. So here at the end of the day, this is why I like Thom Hartman, because Thom Hartman gets out here with these white peoples and he educates them, and I just absolutely positively love it. Come on in here, Innocent 200. So much mad love to you. Thank you for coming in the Lion's Den. So good to see you. And SK8843, he's about to educate them. And this is your ignorant tail doesn't even know how to defend the point that you're trying to put out here, but you come out here with lack of information, lack of facts, lack of knowledge. You're just ignorant. But let Thom finish. Here we go. Come on, Thom. Talk to the peoples. Wichita caller, Wichita, Kansas. You ain't looking too good on this call, but here we go.
Watered with the blood of patriots. He said it in response to the French Revolution. It had nothing to do with the Second Amendment. Dustin, just think for a minute. No, seriously, have a conversation with me for a second here. Just think about this. You and I are the founders of this country. We have just put together the Constitution. We have fought a revolutionary war for 5 years. We have seen our friends die to create a democracy, to overthrow a kingdom. We are now secure in our government. Are we going to put into law a law that says, oh, and by the way, if the people ever decide that we, the people who are running this government, aren't doing a good job, that they can shoot and kill us?
Yes. No. That's why they have the Second Amendment.
No, Dustin, it's not.
Want to know who took guns? Stalin took guns, Hitler took guns, and Mao took guns. And look what happened over there.
Hitler ran gun clubs, Dustin. Hitler ran gun clubs.
Hitler said Jews cannot own guns, and guess what happened to them? Oh, hey, 6 million dead.
Dustin, okay, pause for a minute. You have gone to argument number 2. You started out with argument number in Wichita, Kansas.
Now, let's hold that for a second. Now, he answers just stupid. Do you think that the lawmakers are going to make a law that says, and if y'all don't like us, take up guns and come and kill us? Do you think that's what they did? Yes. Then, furthermore, when he continues on, then he wants to shift and say, now this part right here, because you had racist murderers, he says, look at Hitler, he starts naming off all these people. And if the people had had guns, they wouldn't have got shot up and killed. That's why we need to have access to guns. No, we need to be protected from racist killers. Now, how in the world that made sense to him? Dustin is dusty. Dustin's brain is dusty. Everything about Dusty's behind is dusty. Everything about Dustin is dusty.
So the whole point.
Let me hold this. That was part one. Let me hold this. That was part one. Now y'all see Dustin from Wichita. Wichita, this is not a good look. This is not a good look, Wichita. This is not a good look. Dustin, Dusty race prime through and through, Yoshi-san. Just Dusty. Now, put this together. The people that you named off that committed genocide, you want to say if the people that he killed, one journey make it count. Thank you for those roaring biddies. I appreciate you. We're building something. Thank you so much for those roaring biddies. Listen, Dustin, tisk, tisk, tisk. Dustin is stupid. So here we come, but he's telling the same stupid racist points that people want to make about gun control and not enacting anything in the way of gun control. So here we go. Now he says if those people that were killed by genocide had only had guns, they would not have been killed. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. Justin ain't done, though. Justin's got part two, y'all. Justin's got more rain in the clouds. Here we go with Justin.
So the whole point.
The military coup.
That was it, Dustin. I'm telling you the true history here. I'm not being partisan. I'm not trying to make some kind of point. I'm telling you the honest to God history. You can look it up. You can read it in the Constitution. So number one, they wanted every state to have a militia. Now, there was a broad consensus about this from 1787 when the Constitution was drafted and the Second Amendment's first draft was written through 1788 when that first draft got modified over Patrick Henry's objections in the Virginia Ratifying Convention, where he said, because the first draft said for the security of a free nation, well-regulated militia is essential to the security of a free nation. And Patrick Henry was like, oh, no, you can't do that. It's got to be the free state because our militia here in Virginia is also our slave patrol. And if you call our slave patrol up and send them off to Massachusetts to fight a war, we're screwed. The black people are going to rise up and kill us all. He came right out and said that in the Virginia Ratifying Convention. And so Madison changed the word nation to the word state in the Second Amendment to protect the slave patrols. Those are the two reasons, the only two reasons, that the Second Amendment was put into the Constitution and was ratified.
All right.
You will not find anybody. I mean, read James Madison took extensive notes on the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, in Constitution Hall in 1787. And in fact, he kept them secret until after everybody had died, but they're now published. And you can read what they said when they were debating the Second Amendment or when they were discussing what ultimately became the Second Amendment, and particularly the conversation that they had around Article 1, Section 8, limiting the military to 2 years. And then what happened was Jefferson came into office as president in the election of 1800. He was sworn in March of 1801. And you had 300,000 people in the military. He cut it down to 3,000. He laid off the whole military. And then when the British invaded us with the War of 1812, we didn't have an army. And they couldn't get the militias of the states to show up to fight back, and they marched all the way down to Washington, D.C. and burned the damn White House. James Madison went off to lead troops. He's the only president who ever led troops. Dowley took the picture of George Washington and fled with it. And after that, after the War of 1812, there was no more debate about whether we should not have a standing army. We've had a standing army ever since then, and ever since that moment, the end of the War of 1812, the Second Amendment has become basically an anachronism. It's become a leftover vestige from a time when they thought that they shouldn't have an army. Dustin, educate yourself, please. Don't just repeat these BS talking points from the NRA.
I'm going to play that one more time because some of y'all need to get some of that information too. Come on, we're going to watch Thom Hartmann once more and again just emaciate this baby and his stupid radical right racist beliefs. Here we go. One more time, Tom. Just break it down to him. Teach, brother, teach.
So the whole point...
The military coup.
That was it, Dustin. I'm telling you the true history here. I'm not being partisan. I'm not trying to make some kind of point. I'm telling you the honest to God history. You can look it up. You can read it in the Constitution. So number one, they wanted every state to have a militia. Now, there was a broad consensus about this from 1787 when the Constitution was drafted and the Second Amendment's first draft was written, through 1788 when that first draft got modified over Patrick Henry's objections in the Virginia Ratifying Convention, where he said, because the first draft said for the security of a free nation, a well-regulated militia is essential to the security of a free nation. And Patrick Henry was like, oh no, you can't do that. It's got to be the free state, because our militia here in Virginia is also our slave patrol. And if you call our slave patrol up and send them off to Massachusetts to fight a war, we're screwed. The black people are going to rise up and kill us all. He came right out and said that in the Virginia Ratifying Convention. And so Madison changed the word nation to the word state in the Second Amendment to protect the slave patrols. Those are the two reasons, the only two reasons, that the Second Amendment was put into the Constitution and was ratified.
All right.
You will not find anybody. I mean, read James Madison took extensive notes on the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, in Constitution Hall in 1787. And in fact, he kept them secret until after everybody had died, but they're now published. And you can read what they said when they were debating the Second Amendment, or when they were discussing what ultimately became the Second Amendment, and particularly the conversation that they had around Article 1, Section 8, limiting the military to 2 years. And then what happened was Jefferson came into office as president in the election of 1800. He was sworn in March of 1801, and you had 300,000 people in the military. He cut it down to 3,000. He laid off the whole military. And then when the British invaded us with the War of 1812, we didn't have an army. And they couldn't get the militias of the states to show up to fight back, and they marched all the way down to Washington, D.C. and burned the damn White House. James Madison went off to lead troops. He's the only president who ever led troops. Dowley took the picture of George Washington and fled with it. And after that, after the War of 1812, there was no more debate about whether we should not have a standing army. We've had a standing army ever since then, and ever since that moment, the end of the War of 1812, the Second Amendment has become basically an anachronism. It's become a leftover vestige from a time when they thought that they shouldn't have an army. Dustin, educate yourself, please. Don't just repeat these BS talking points from the NRA.
Listen, that right there blesses my whole shondo. So, in fact, he may have given some information that some of you all didn't know, which is why I played it again, because sometimes we don't know the history. And I just, listen, Tom bless my soul. And he is absolutely right. And the way that they are interpreting the Second Amendment now is totally twisted. Please be clear on that. The way that they are interpreting the Second Amendment, and listen, don't fool yourselves. The attorneys, the judges, they know that. They know how to interpret the law. They know how to interpret what was said, and they know why it was said, because many of them in their political science studies and everything else and the history, they know it. Just like the man said, these are published in human, that you can now have in circulation rather, in the hands of the people. So at this point, this isn't no hidden information. Listen, Reading Rainbow, I saw you, SK. Reading Rainbow, please help us. They're not oblivious. Now, Dustin is ignorant, but the people that are out here propagating this are not ignorant. They're twisting this on purpose. So I want us to be ever clear on that. Please, please, please be completely clear about what's going on. Now, to that end, this is what I stumbled onto as well. And I want to touch on this because this really kind of speaks to the debt. Now, it's the please educate yourself before you speak for me. Because you sound ignorant, Shelly. You sound ignorant. The police aren't lacking in their kicking in the doors with no knock warrants. Come on here, J Trey. So at the end of the day, they're misinterpreting just like the religious leaders did back in Jesus's day and today too. Listen, all while they talking about separation of church and state, the church has married the state in such a way, just like when we left England and we did not want to reign under a sovereign and this and that and the other and having to one state, one religion, but yet and still y'all want to come over here, even though we left England on that premise, you want to come over here to the United States and say the same thing, preachers, men of God, that this is a Christian country. No, it's not a Christian country, because part of why we left England was because we didn't want to have a state mandated religion. Y'all, what part of that did you miss? What part of that did you miss? That's why you said separation of church and state, but now y'all want to blend all that together, and you want these conservative right Christian folk that are in wealth because they have abused and misused everybody else. And that's why Joy read the preacher for filth. Joy read the preacher for filth because the same Bible that you're trying to hold and say this is what gives you the ability and the reason to be the head and not the tail. You get to say who's going to be the tail while you're out. No, ma'am. Listen, let me get some little help right there. Y'all want to come in here and act like this whole country is supposed to be Christian.
No!
That's why you left England, besides the fact that taxation without representation is tyranny. Did I miss history class? Did I miss history class somewhere? Taxation without representation is tyranny, and you came over here and tried to make a one religion state, and you've also taxed the people without representation. And the same reason that you so-called left England, you've turned around and done the same thing. If I'm lying, please tell me. Whew, y'all ain't ready for me today. Listen, y'all better pray for spiritual. Because this foolishness, my God, today. And y'all out here doing all kind of crazy and damnable stuff under the sun. They want to talk about God bless America, in God I trust. Miss me with that. Why you out here just killing the people? And even as Joy said, you don't even have compassion for your brothers and your Haitian sisters because you're so racist. But God bless America. I said what I said. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Ain't no God in that. Quit lying. Just quit lying.
Why you always lying?
That is your white evangelical racist self talking. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Now, listen, I'm running out of time. Let me run this last one, and I might have to talk about the rest of this tomorrow. But I want to run time today, and then we'll have conversation tomorrow, because I only got 10 minutes left, and we got to get over to Rebel's house. Because listen, we going over there for some anti-morning bangos and some the cracks. But we gonna set the stage with Tom today, and we gonna wrap up. We gonna wrap up tomorrow, because child, I want y'all to get the fullness of this, because this is all tied to the debt that we also have here in this country and the debt ceiling that we keep having to deal with in the courts. And I want to read Heather Cox Richardson's comments of what she said on yesterday, because I want y'all to understand the issue that's before the country right now is really about the money. Show me the money. Stop giving me all these distractions. Baby, we talking about the money. That's what we talking about. Now let's go with Tom, and let Tom talk to you right here. And here we go.
I don't know where you're getting your information from, but it's wrong. The Social Security has a trust fund. It was created in 1982, I think, or 83 by Reagan's Social Security reforms. And the whole point of the trust fund was up until then, up until 82 or 83, for every dollar that went out of Social Security, a dollar came into Social Security. So basically, working people were paying for the retirement of their elders. And what they saw coming was this rabbit through the python, this giant bulge of the baby boomers. And there was no way that just the people who were working, or like right now at this point in time, would get enough to pay for the retirement of the baby boomers. So they said, okay, we're going to take one generation of baby boomers, and we're going to have them be double taxed. And not only are they going to pay for their parents' retirement by real-time payments, but they're also going to pay for their own retirement by creating a savings account for Social Security. And this is called the Social Security Trust Fund. There never used to be one before the 1980s. And the Social Security Trust Fund now has about $2.7 trillion in it, and that money is invested in treasuries. Now, treasuries are government debt, they're government IOUs, so you could say that the Social Security Trust Fund has lent that money to the federal government, and the federal government has used it for operations or whatever. But that would be true of you buying a $1,000 treasury bill for your retirement. And said, when it comes time to reclaim it, redeem it, you can do that. So the Social Security money has not been spent. And that's a lie coming out of the right. And Social Security is not in a crisis. And frankly, it doesn't even need tweaking for a couple of decades. So, and the money that's in that trust fund, Al Gore suggested there should be a lockbox. It should be separately accounted for. I don't disagree. If you separately accounted for it, it would immediately drop our deficit by about $2.5 trillion. But the Republicans love to say, oh, our deficit is like $19 trillion. When $5 trillion of that was money we owe ourselves.
Now, this is what I want to address on this one right here. So there is a reality that there is some money that has been borrowed, but not nearly what the right keeps screaming and hollering and crying. So this part right here depends on where you look. And when you look at your sources, always pay attention to who's providing the source, because if you and I've gone out and I've looked at both sides. If you go out and you're looking and reading sources that are supporting the conservative right, they're going to say one thing different from go out and try to find your information in neutral places, because at the end of the day, this is how we can understand and draw. And that's why I'm telling you, I need y'all to think. Don't just take everything that somebody says, does, or speaks about hook, line, and sinker, because at the end of the day, there may be some other truths and some other realities out there. Now, there is money that has been spent out of the trust. There is Social Security money that has been spent out of the trust. So this is where I want us to be clear. All this money that we got going on and where it's going and how. So I went out to USA Facts, and that's where I am here on this particular article. And I want us to look at, because the issue, I'm telling y'all, it's about the national debt and what's going on with this money. Yes, SK 8843, 25% of the current national debt was created during the Trump administration. 25%. Do y'all understand how huge that is? 25% of current national debt was created during Trump administration. Now, if you look at who are we in debt to? These foreign countries that you keep hearing conversations about. The reason why you need to pay attention to who's meeting with whom, who's going where and what. Now, y'all notice DeSantis hasn't even gotten in office, and we really haven't officially launched, and he's already traveling his hips over to these foreign countries. I want you to understand, because these are the folks that hold We are indebted to these countries. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We are in debt, Satan. That's who I'm talking about. And you know he done already took his lips, hips, and fingertips over there to China. Don't y'all think we just out here having, I want to hold your hand like you the Beatles or something. They're out here trying to make and cut deals back and forth and this and that and the other because these are the debts that the United States owes. So now the U.S. government owes trillions of dollars in debt to foreign entities, including their governments, central banks, companies, and individual investors. This is what I want you. Come on, I'm going to give it to you, KB. I'm going to give it to you. I can't put the video up there. I can't put the picture up there right now, but I'm going to give you the sound effect anyway. Could it be? The devil! Baby, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. I need y'all to understand. And this, listen, can I say this? Because a lot of times y'all like, don't talk about politics. I'm not talking about politics. But you listen, if you let the political arena run away and you don't know what's going on in politics, baby, you will suffer. Do you understand the words that you will suffer? I'm not trying to be partisan, but I want you to understand what's going on. And there is a difference. I'm not trying to be partisan. I just want you to understand what is going on because stuff is happening all around you and you are oblivious to it because you don't talk politics. Baby, we need to have these conversations because these conversations impact us directly. Why would you not talk about what is going to impact your life? I'm not trying to debate with you about who to vote for. I want you to understand what's going on. And too many of us are ignorant to what's going on. So here we go at the end of the day. When we look at who is holding, the debt includes U.S. Treasury bonds, other securities, which are popular as and considered to be safe investments. But now if you look at that, you understand why the devaluation of the dollar. Have y'all not heard this these last couple of weeks? The devaluation of the dollar. What used to be considered safe, when they devalue the dollar, even those dollars that we're now in the past have been looking at as secure and safe, now that the countries are getting together and saying we're going to devalue that dollar and do our business in something else other than the dollar to weaken the dollar, it's going to drive this country further in debt. Am I talking to anybody in here? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? In early 2023, foreign investors own nearly a quarter of all of U.S. debt. I just don't know how to make it more plain. I just don't know how to make it any more plain, y'all. As of January 2023, foreign countries own $7.4 trillion in treasuries. So this, you say, why are you going here? Because this is why there's so much importance about the Republican Party holding whether or not they're going to expand and extend that debt ceiling. They're holding the country hostage because they know if we default, we are in trouble. Am I talking to anybody in here? If the United States defaults, do you get the picture? We're in trouble. Come on, SK. The treasury bonds are safe only because the U.S. has never defaulted on its debt. But the minute it defaults, do you understand what's going on? Well, if you don't understand what's going on, let me tell you what's going to happen. If we default, listen, you might as well just go ahead and walk all around God's heaven. Because Diablo is going to be loose. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because I want you to understand what the issues are at hand, because too many of us do not understand what's going on. Am I talking to anybody? Over the past 2 decades, central banks and other government entities have owned 50 to 75% of foreign-owned debt over the past 2 decades. Independent investors and companies held all the rest of that. Now, listen. This is where I want to come, and I really want to get to this. I want to get to this, and I'm not going to go. This article is out there. I have it out there in my Discord, anybody that wants to hold it. But this is over the past 20 years, Japan and China have owned more U.S. treasuries than any other foreign nation. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Japan and China have been the largest foreign holders of U.S. debt for the last 2 years, 20 years. So 2 decades. So listen, Japan and China, 50% of foreign-owned U.S. debt between 2004 and 2006. However, this has declined over time, and as of 2022, they controlled approximately 25% of the foreign-owned debt. So who do we owe? As of January 2023, the 5 countries owning the most U.S. debt: Japan, China, United Kingdom, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Am I talking to anybody in here? A majority of investors abroad own more U.S. debt today than they did a decade ago. Now, I'm just trying to get you to understand what's going on. Today, most foreign investors own more U.S. debt than they did a decade ago. Now, this is where I want to go with this. And oh my goodness, it's 8:59. It's 8:59. I told you I was going to set up the stage, but I want to come back and I want to talk about and evaluate. Heather Cox Richardson did a phenomenal rundown of what's going on with the Republican Party holding the country as hostage to this national debt situation. And I wanted to lay this out here so you could understand how all of this impacts you directly. Don't you bury your head in the sand, because this impacts you directly. Please hear what I'm saying. And even I have another clip that I want to put in about the Social Security Trust that I want you all to be aware of, because these are things that directly impact you. I'm going somewhere. I'm not just out here willy-nilly wandering around in the wilderness. I'm trying to lead you line upon line, precept upon precept, so that you can understand how all of this, we're not just talking about something out here in the great out there that's going on. I'm telling you, these are things that directly impact you. And you need to understand what's going on. Now, that being said, my time is up. My time is up. I know Rebel said, don't, because if I get into Heather Cox Richardson, who is a phenomenal historian out of Boston University, I'm telling you, if I get into that part right there, we'll pick this back up tomorrow. But listen, and please don't be that person that says, listen, I don't want to hear about that. I don't understand it. What people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And for all of those that want to bury your heads in the sand and act like this is irrelevant and it has nothing to do with you, come on, let them default, and then let's have a conversation in 30 days. Because I read that to you all the other day, where the feds are basically saying, if we default, we're going to see a total change in our existence in less than 30 days. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And this is not fear mongering. This is not conspiracy theories. I want y'all to, only the facts, ma'am. Only the facts, sir. I want you to understand the facts about what is going on. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. My mods are helping me out the door. I I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I want you all, this info is in your pocketbooks today, SK43. It's part of what's going on with the money situation and the prices that you're paying and the interest that you're paying and all of these other things. This is directly going to impact you. Don't walk into this season ignorant of what's going on. You've got to know. If you don't know the enemy, if you don't know what's going down, how are you going to know how to maneuver? You got to know some facts. So we're going to continue. I'm going to come back tomorrow. We're going to delve into, and Heather Richardson Cox, that is already out there in my Discord for those of you that might want to go and look at it ahead of time so we can talk intelligently tomorrow. And it's not the first time you heard it. It's out there in my Discord under Heather Cox Richardson and the debt ceiling. Go out there and read it if you want to. Look at some other additional resources. We're going to come back tomorrow because I want you all to be equipped with knowledge. We're not ignorant of the enemy's devices. We know exactly what's going on in this here country. And there you have it. Yeah. DJ Miss Classy, let me hold it just for a second and I'm going to welcome you all. We're on our way to Rebels. Come on and ride with us. But here we go. DJ Miss Classy is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following DJ Miss Classy, quit your ways. Thank you for rating with 28 viewers. I appreciate you for coming in. We are on our way to the Rebels. Diane BX, come on in here. Misty Blue, I see you. 24 karat gold, I see you. Come on in here. Alvin Allen, I see you. Miss Fee, DJ Miss Classy, come on in here. Miss Sexy E, oh, you better go. Miss Sexy E, come on in here. I appreciate you. One reason, the Bishop of Twitch, that's my bishop and he is a streamer. If you're not following One Reason, quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways because he's gonna bless your whole life. I love me some you, sir. Come on in here. DJ Miss Classy, I thank you for bringing your family over to the Lion's Den. Nothing but mad love to you. We in a deep conversation, ran us a few minutes over, but we're headed over to Rebels. We got part 2 tomorrow, Natty Dread. We got part 2 tomorrow. Come back, same bat time, same bat channel, and we gonna pick it up right where we left off. Thank you once more and again. And I appreciate you for coming to the Lion's Den. Now we getting ready to get out of here. Here we go, y'all. Y'all ride the raid train over because we going somewhere. Yes, be encouraged today because it won't be this way always. Please believe it. It won't be this way always. Now listen, I'm out here, folks. Y'all can follow me because I'm out here in these streets. I'm out here on the internet. You can find me, y'all. You can follow me. I promise you, you can. You can follow me on Facebook, Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, and more. I'm out there cheering. I'm out there. Now listen, I want you to be the change. Don't just talk about change, but I want you to be the change that you want to see. And at the end of the day, you're not in this thing alone. This pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. It's us, you, me, we all, because we all in this thing together, and we are going to make a change in this here land. And we don't have a spirit of intimidation. We don't have a spirit of fear. We've got power. We've got love. We've got a sound mind. And that being said, as long as we operate in love, I am all powerful in love. I appreciate all of the support today. The support is always strong in the Lion's Den. For those roaring biddies, one journey, make it count. Thank you for the followers, Alvin Allen. Come on, DJ Miss Classy. Thank you for that raid. I appreciate you, my sister. Nothing but mad love coming to you. Now, this music won't be this way always. Provided by none other than Regina K. Sims, and please believe it, won't be this way always, because things are about to change. Now come on and ride this raid train, because we're headed over to Rebels. We're headed to Rebels, and we gonna have anti-morning bangos and the cracks. Please ride over with us, and it will do you good. Now, as my moderators always say, have an amazing day on purpose. Do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey.